Alert with Orange County Real Estate. Today we're going to look at the data in the United States and also in Orange County. We look at the US just because we think that will help us predict what's going to happen here in Orange County. So let's dive right into the first slide. This is our inventory slide. So inventory in the United States of single family homes, condos, townhomes, multi-units, 2 to 4, up to 4 units. Those are all considered residential. So we're taking a look at that entire group. That's 4,137 in the entire United States. We're only looking at single family homes. That's 543,898 single family homes for sale at the moment. And then in OC, under contract and pending, that's 2,129. So inventory gains are still slow. They predicted to be going up a lot more right now, but it's still slow, and that seems to be grabbing headlines in the media. But remember, we're still in this very normal seasonal slowdown period. So the fact that they're slow is not that alarming. But we do obviously still have our inventory problem. In most of the country, there's still just not a lot of homes for buyers to buy. So we still do have an inventory problem, and we still have demand. And we're going to see that in the next slide. It's the median days on market. So for Orange County is 31, and the average days on market is 42. That's still a very strong market. And I wanted to put a spotlight on Tustin and Woodbridge. Those are 21 and 22 days on the market. So lots of buyer demand in those areas. I didn't see anything crazy except for, large luxury homes over 2.5 million. That continues to slow down a little bit over 60 days. There are a couple areas that are 90 days, 100 days. Last week or a couple weeks ago, we looked at Balboa Island being pretty high days on market. So that's still going on, no change there. All right, let's go to the next slide. And the first line is sold price versus list price. And in this case, it's this last 7 days, homes sold 0.75% lower than the list price. That's the first time we dropped below list price in a while. So last week we were 6% higher. Homes were selling almost 6% above the list price. So that's a big change. But I think it's just this little period of time. We'll see what happens this next week and see if that's going to be a trend. But I don't feel like it's something to be alarmed about now, so we'll just keep an eye on it. But I think it's just a more balanced time there and less bidding wars on those properties that sold. So that could be a good thing for buyers. Immediate sales in Orange County, 7.3%. Those are homes that accepted an offer within the first 2 days of being listed. So that's up slightly from last week. And in the US, that's 18%, 18.3%. That's basically the same. Price reductions in Orange County, 14%. That's basically the same. In the US, 37.6%. So 37.6% of single family homes in the US have had a price reduction. That's the highest number we've had in a very long time. So that's definitely something we're going to keep an eye on. I still feel like there's room for that to go up. I don't feel like it's an alarm or alarming because the median home price for single family homes in the country has stayed steady since May at $549,900, almost $550,000. That has stayed steady. So yeah, there's been price reductions, but the median home price has stayed steady. If that started dropping, then alarm bells would definitely be going off. All right, so I want to look at this data in a little smaller area today. So I always mention if you guys want to look at data in your area, in your zip code, or if you're targeting a specific area to buy and you want to look at this data, just reach out and let me know. So this first slide is of Costa Mesa. I wanted you to see what it looks like. So in a very small area. So this is just Costa Mesa and just single family homes in Costa Mesa. The first slide says median list price, 1,350,000, and then median price of new listings is 1,399,000. Price per square foot, $793. Average days on market, 41. Median days on market, 28. 28 days in Costa Mesa. Still very much a seller's market, still a lot of buyer demand. The next slide, price decrease. So homes with a price decrease, 46%. That seems high, but again, to me, not alarming. I feel like values have not come down in Costa Mesa, but people were testing the market. The other thing that's going on here in Costa Mesa is like, if a house sits past 2 weeks, people are alarmed, like, oh my gosh, something must be wrong with that house. But I still feel like sometimes people are pricing their house a little bit too high when they list it, just to see if they can get it. And if they sit past 2 weeks, they're having price reductions. So price reductions are happening much faster than they have before. So we still have 28 days on the market, so I'm not alarmed by that. Price increase 2%. That could be anything, not a big number or anything crazy there. Relisted properties that have been relisted, that's 4%. So what this means is that a home had accepted an offer, went into escrow, and then that canceled, so that house had to be relisted. The majority of the time, this is because the buyer can't perform, and the majority of the time the buyer can't perform is because of their loan. They couldn't get a loan for some reason. Maybe the qualification changed. Maybe they had sticker shock on a high rate. But that's usually what happens in those cases. So that's not a big number at 4%. I was expecting that number to be higher with the high interest rates. And maybe we had a couple of weeks where homes were, when we had the big rate increase quickly and people didn't have their rates locked, I figured we'd see a lot of properties that were relisted, a lot of properties that fell out of escrow. And we did. It was much higher there for about 20 days. But now we're back to normal here since the rates have been pretty steady around 5% for a while. All right, inventory, single family homes inventory in Costa Mesa, 85. I feel like that's a low number. The median rent, I feel like that's a high number, $5,548 to rent a single family home here in Costa Mesa. And then the last number is market action. That's just taking all this data into account and trying to figure out if it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. And market action being 57 is a strong seller's market. So if you want to see this data for your area, for your zip code, please reach out and I will provide that data to you. It's important to know this data. If you're going to sell a house, you want to know like what to look for, knowing the median price of new listings, like that will help you pick a good price, to list your house at. And then knowing that the median days on market is 28, that gives you kind of an expected time frame of how long it's going to take to sell your house. So this is great data to know. And then if you're buying, it's nice to know this data too, because we'll know how to write a strong offer and what to expect, the response to be. Okay, thank you very much for watching. And again, if you want to see this data for your area, just reach out to me. All right, have a great week. Bye.